Hello, today I'm going to be doing an in-depth review of this magic canvas. It's a product by a company named Cub Fox, and they're an Australian company, a small business. To my knowledge, there's not really anything else exactly like this on the market. It's a canvas that you roll out, which I'll show you in a moment, and the idea is that it's mess-free painting. You just need water. They provide brushes with the canvas, and you can essentially roll it out, hang it up, and the kids can paint with very little mess beyond whatever water's spilled, essentially. So I'll show you now. So you unroll it like so, and all I did was get an El Cheapo hook from I honestly think it was the $2 shop or Howard Storage World or something like that, and I've stuck it to the side of our wine fridge because that was the only place that seemed kind of easy and suitable for it. So yeah, the reason why I bought it was because once toddlers pass the age of maybe, I don't know, every child is different, but maybe about 12 months, one of the activities that's encouraged for toddlers is to begin some sort of painting, some sort of artistic endeavor, if you like, which is obviously fantastic for fine motor. So I loved the concept that it was mess-free, and that was my biggest why in my decision to purchase this one. They targeted me fairly aggressively on social media for a long time, this company, and I eventually obviously relented and bought the product. It cost me $75, and I believe that's what it's currently selling for. I just had a quick look at the website, and in order to qualify for free shipping, you have to spend over $120. So I did pay $15 for shipping, and there was no issues with the shipping. It was well packaged, arrived in a reasonable time frame, so no dramas there. The cost is not insignificant, but I suppose I feel as though, like, just touching the product, it feels like a high quality product, and it's got nice wood with these little kind of gold buttons here that hold it. Down the bottom, I'll show you, has the branding, the Cub Fox branding. Yeah, I think it's very simple, obviously. My only nitpick would be that it's grey. I don't love that it's grey, but I mean, that's probably just a me thing. They had to test a lot of materials from what I read on the website to actually get to the point where they found the right thing. And in the interest of showing you, I'm going to give you a bit of a demo. As I said before, all you need is water and the brushes. And the canvas comes in this nice little canvas. The canvas comes in a canvas bag, so you can just, once it's dry, that's the key thing, you've got to let it dry properly. Easiest thing in my opinion is to put it somewhere near a window that opens. Our wine fridge is right beside the screen door, and that's perfect. So once it's completely dry, roll it up, pop it back in the bag, and it's actually fairly simple to store, fits in an average drawer. And the brushes come in a nice little canvas bag too. So I'll open them up and do a demo. So this particular brush kit comes with 5 brushes. I'm slipping around in there of different sizes. So you've got three that come to a point and 2 that are flat. I believe I've only used these 2 so far. My son's 20 months old, and I feel as though he's not at the point where he's going to be doing extremely fine detail yet, perhaps when he's a bit older. So these are perfect. It's more just about getting strokes onto the page and getting used to the idea that different pressure levels will result in different color payoff. Not that there's a color, it's black, but different levels of saturation and that sort of thing. So I'll give you a demo with this biggest brush. You really don't need much water. Just pop it in, and you can paint. So if you want to make life a little bit easier my suggestion would be to maybe grab some blue tack and actually stick it in place at the four corners, just because it does, if you just got it kind of hooked up the top like I do, it swings around. It's a pretty light thing, the canvas. And yeah, as your brush loses moisture using the product, your color payoff, if you like, your black payoff, or the amount of pigment, is going to lessen. And that's pretty much all there is to it. And I believe that children can finger paint onto it as well. I just had another, like I said, I had a quick look at the website and they had children dipping their fingers into the water to finger paint, so that's another option. But I think it's a nice thing to be able to use the brush. I purchased this one around 2 months ago. I was quite excited to test it out and use it and see how engaging or not engaging my son found it. He liked it, but I think he was more interested in sort of just exploring the object as an object. And that's not a comment on the product at all, that's just more of a comment on where my son's at and what he's interested in. That was swishing the canvas around and playing with the brushes, and he mainly wanted control of the cup of water, which obviously ended up all over the floor. So yeah, do it, you pop a towel down or multiple towels, and just be prepared that you will probably get water on the floor if you've got a younger toddler having a go at it. I was shocked at how long it took to dry when I didn't have the window open. And it was only by a happy accident of having the screen door, I should say, the screen door open, that it dried really, really quickly. So I definitely recommend either having the screen door nearby open or popping it outside. So the purpose of this one, as I stated before, is to develop fine motor and get an idea, I suppose, of cause and effect, and maybe develop an interest in starting to make shapes. So, you know, I might do a circle and a triangle and label those things, or a smiley face, or write my son's name. He's still very young, but I think all of this stuff obviously contributes to greater understanding down the track and lays the foundations. The execution of this product from a concept to actual product perspective, I think, is very good. It would have taken them a long time to get this right. So honestly, like I really have no complaints. The only thing would be I had a younger baby visit our house, and I hadn't put it away, and the baby came up and gave it a good old scrunch, as it's very tempting to scrunch. And it took a while to recover from that, and I'll just tilt the camera down a little bit, and down the bottom it's still a little bit scrunched. So you can't roughhouse with it, you can't manhandle it too much, otherwise it will kind of keep creases. If I was super pedantic, I could actually, I guess, iron it. That's probably not recommended by them, but if I did it on a super low temperature with a tea towel over the top, it might remove the creases. I don't care that much, it's just going to be rolled up in the drawer most of the time. But yeah, just bear in mind that you can't be super rough with it. One of the warnings, in fairness, before I go into my one criticism, which it's not a big deal, but it is something to note. Sorry, my apologies. My cats are fighting in the background, making a bit of noise. Sorry. They if you're using it and you've got younger toddlers, like I do, a younger toddler, and they don't have great fine motor control. What happened was that he's gone in and gone kind of bash, bash, bash. He's not deliberately just putting the bristles on the page only. He's putting, I'm not sure what this part of the brush is called, but the metal part that contains the bristles, he's dragging that down the easel, which has resulted in all of this scratching. And look, I am a bit pedantic, I admit that, but I suppose from my perspective, if they were doing another version of this, a 2.0, what I would do is maybe offer a kit that just had perhaps some sort of silicone handled thing with a sponge at the end, or something that didn't require this metal bracing piece to be involved, because that's just going to scratch the canvas, and you've got a toddler who doesn't have great fine motor control yet. And, you know, like my son just kind of waving it everywhere. He scratched it immediately, And it was a little bit of a bummer to pull something out of the box and have it be pristine and then see it covered in scratches. And I'd read the care label and it said, be mindful to use a clean brush so you don't scratch it. Because, you know, if you got particles of whatever on this, you could, I suppose, scratch it by virtue of doing that. But it was actually this kind of accompanying part of the product that scratched the other part of the product. So look, with older kids, it's probably not an issue, but if you're getting it for younger kids, just be aware it's going to get scratched up and roughhoused, and it's not going to look pristine, if that's important to you at all. And they could actually, I think, do a version of it that maybe is aimed at younger toddlers, just with a different accessory pack that doesn't have anything sharp in the painting accessory. Practicality, as I said, if you use the air drying technique I mentioned with a window, it will dry really quickly. So you can kind of pack up and pack down very quickly. If you've got your hook and your spot for it, you can, you know, have it away in a few minutes if it's dry, which is great. So easy. And just tip your cup down the sink and you're done. Which is pretty rare. I feel like for a lot of arts and crafts style activities, there's a bit of rigmarole in setting it up and packing it away and cleaning up the associated mess. Like the worst you're gonna have to do is mop the floor, really, with a towel or something. Like I said, quality is good. The only comment I would make is it's not a super robust thing, so just be mindful of that. And from a Montessori perspective, it's great. You can, you know, it's a truly open-ended thing, literally a blank canvas. You can put anything you like on it. And I think it's the type of toy that will grow with the child as well. So while my son isn't particularly engaged with it at the moment, he, you know, I hope at some point in time when I pull it out, he might sit there a little longer and be less concerned about being in control of the brush and the cup of water, and more concerned about, oh, these are the marks I'm making on the page, and this is how I can change my level of force or my style of movement to produce a different effect on the canvas. So I think it's a nice thing. It's a nice thing to give as a gift. And I think the perfect age might be maybe 2.5. 2.5 is a starting point. But yeah, again, it depends on the child. If you've got a super artistic younger toddler, they may just really be into this and spend a long time playing with it. I'm not sure. These things are often super, super dependent on the child. And look, I'm not sure what else there is to say about this product really, but I love the fact that it's a small business. It's a great thing to support a small business. The website pricing is structured to incentivize you to buy them in a pack. So perhaps if you have multiple children, or if you'd like to buy one for your child and one for someone else's child as a gift, take advantage of the bundle and save a bit of money and don't pay for shipping in that process. So that would be my one hot tip as far as actually purchasing it goes. I'm not sure what the secondhand market is like. My apologies, I should have actually taken a look before filming, but yeah, I think it's a good product. It's worth the money. Ticks the Montessori boxes, as well as being made of natural materials. That's another Montessori principle. It's not this hard plasticky thing that's clacking around. You've got the nice natural rope, the wood, and this product, which, yeah, it feels, yeah, it doesn't feel like a completely synthetic thing, which is always nice. So yes, that's about all I have to say on this one, but I hope this review was useful if you're considering buying it. Thank you.